It is time for the Drew Yari Show. Drew Yari.
All right, testing. 1, 2. Justin, say something.
Hello.
Okay, that came through. All right, we are good to go. Are you good to go, sir?
We're here. Let's go.
All right, just wanted to make sure. All right, and we are rolling. Welcome, everybody. It is Wednesday, 9:10 p.m. Central Time here in San Antonio. We were supposed to get thunder. I mean, we did get thunder. We were supposed to get like heavy rain. Didn't really get that, but we just got thunder and maybe some rain. Did you get rain where you're at, man?
Not yesterday, not today.
Yeah, yesterday was supposed to be pretty bad. Because I was gonna go to the gym. I was like, yeah, I'll go home. I'm not gonna go through this weather. Didn't even rain. So yeah, it's pretty bad out there. I think was it not Galveston, but Houston or like wherever, they got it pretty bad.
Sure, I don't
So,
know.
and if you had Spectrum, you were kind of fucked yesterday. But from what I heard, Spectrum users and AT&T users are up and running. What internet do you have?
Got Spectrum.
Were you hit pretty bad yesterday?
Yeah, but a lot of people didn't have internet. I didn't care. I went outside, did other stuff. I touched grass. It's kind of sad that everyone needs to have internet nowadays just to enjoy themselves. So
you physically touched grass?
yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we the place I work at, I work in a jail. I think some people might know that. The entire building has Spectrum as internet. So around 12, the internet in every single unit, every single section in the building that we work in, or buildings, I guess if you want to be technical. Well, it's just one giant building. It's two buildings. Internet went down for everybody. So if officers need to log something in or enter in a charge, or if somebody needed to call about their loved one in jail, we couldn't look up shit on the internet. So it went down around like 12:30 ish, but I think it came back like at 8 or 9 p.m. I'm guessing, but nonetheless, that's neither here nor there. We're here today to talk about the week in wrestling. More than likely, it's going to be a relatively short show. On Sunday, Jeff Flipman joined us while we discussed Money in the Bank and Heatwave. It was a pretty good show. Really fun show. It's always fun having Jeff on. Again, we might be doing more of these pay-per-view post shows. If it's AEW, we're going to have to... I mean, if you guys want us to talk about AEW, we can. We'll be more than happy to. It's for the fans. Anything for the fans. More than likely, we might be doing more of these in the future. We'll just have to talk it out. But so tonight is just Raw, NXT. You said you missed a big chunk of Dynamite tonight.
When I started watching, I guess Samoa Joe's getting low into the ambulance.
Yeah, he had a Stampede street fight with Jericho.
I missed that match. I saw what happened, but I missed the match itself.
But and then the main event, you said it was Mariah May. She went heel. What happened with that?
She won the Owen tournament, and she went heel, beat up Toni Storm, left a very bloody Toni Storm on top of the stage, which was a great visual. Yeah, because Toni Storm, she has like the 1940s, wardrobe, and was kind of shocked that she turned heel just because of I figured it would have been the other way around. I figured that would have been Toni Storm that would have turned heel, but I guess fans don't really want to cheer against Tony Storm, boo Tony Storm. So I guess that's fine. But that's gonna be your women's championship match at Wembley. So
Interesting. And then, of course, news, because we got quite a bit of news. A lot of free agent signings. And then afterwards, play a little game. Afterwards, should be a fun game. But let's talk about it. So Monday Night Raw on July the 8th. They're in Ottawa. Yeah, they're in Ottawa, Canada. They were in Canada for the whole weekend in Toronto, but they're in Ottawa on Monday. Show opens with CM Punk. CM Punk coming out to address the show, which I think was the highest rated segment of the night. It was it 1.93? So good for Punk, good for Raw actually. Opens the show talking about Drew McIntyre and tells Adam Pearce, lift Drew McIntyre's suspension. I want him basically. Seth Rollins comes out and again, it's Seth Rollins. You can imagine what outfit he came out in this time. Was it he was wearing stage lifts or just lift shoes or whatever you want to call it. Seth, basically just addresses Punk for what happened on Money in the Bank, that he screwed him over, quote unquote. Punk goes on to apologize. I actually took notes for this. So Punk goes on to apologize to Seth Rollins, but very begrudgingly. Says, "I'm sorry, I apologize. I didn't mean to screw anything up for you. I have a singular focus, and I understand you do too, and I screwed that up. And I'm sorry. But because it's you, I can't really be that sorry, can I?" Seth goes on to tell Punk, "When you are cleared, you won't even be able to say the name Drew McIntyre before I snap your arm and put you back on the shelf. Actions have consequences." So whatever that means. Again, good promo. Good, as always, it's Punk. I mean, even his worst promo was just okay. But yeah, this is a pretty good promo. It hypes up the SummerSlam, the yet to be confirmed SummerSlam match with Drew, and it also continues to plant the seeds for this feud with Seth. I thought Punk came out great in this. Earlier, Punk, kind of goes back to an earlier promo he did with Seth last year, where he said, "That's the last time I'm going to allow you to disrespect me. That's your free pass." This time, he kind of brought it back and just kind of stood there with his arms behind his back and just allowed Seth to kind of say whatever nonsense he was saying. And Seth didn't really say anything too threatening other than just, "I'm going to snap your arm and put you back on the shelf." And Punk just stood there smiling. And yeah, Punk as usual, when he talks, he sounds like he's having a conversation. A mix of that and also maybe insult comic. Kind of like our conversation last week where we were talking about Javon Evans, where when he talks, it sounds like he's having a conversation, not just like a wrestling promo. Seth, when he talk again, I'm a Seth apologist to an extent. Seth, when he talks, it just I don't believe what he's saying. That's kind of my big problem with Seth. Even over like the ridiculous, gear that he wears. But overall, what do you think about the opening segment? Punk's promo, Seth's promo. What do you think?
Both promos were very strong. To me, Seth and Punk are obviously they're different promos, but I think they're very strong in the style promos that they do. So, it wasn't anything groundbreaking or anything with this promo or anything like that. Just it kind of moved their story, what they got going. I didn't really like further anything with like Punk and Drew McIntyre, except for Punk was like, "Hey, reinstate him." And that's pretty much it. So we're probably not really gonna see much of anything really heat up until next week and seeing what happens. And as right now, we don't really know what Seth is gonna be doing at SummerSlam. So there's that too as well. So I mean, is it going to be involved? Is it going to be a special guest referee for the match? Which would be stupid if that were to be the case. I don't think he needs to be involved like that with Punk and Drew. But yeah,
I was going to ask you that, and you kind of answered my question. But like, I don't know, what do you do with Seth? Because like everybody else seems to kind of have their thing going on heading into SummerSlam, and Seth is just like I think, yeah, like kind of like you said, if he's like a special guest referee, or if he's kind of like with what Punk did at Mania, where he's just the special guest announcer commentator, that would just be kind of weird. So I don't know. I don't know what you do with Seth.
They got like 4 weeks to figure it out, so they need to figure it out quick.
Yeah, especially with Seth, which granted, however everyone else feels about Seth, Seth is still a big commodity for this company. So, again, figure something out, like you said. Next is Jey Uso versus Chad Gable. In my notes, Chad was still selling his ribs from Saturday. Crowd still chanting "You suck." They tussle around for a few minutes. Chad does a belly to belly to Jay on the floor. They go to picture in picture. Chad needs to stop doing the diving headbutt, is what I put. Just I hate seeing that. Gable goes for an ankle lock, and then the lights go out. Jay hits a spear, pins, and leaves. And then he looks to the crowd and just goes yeet, and runs away, which I thought was kind of funny.
I don't really prefer the yeets or anything like that, but that right there was good. That was good. I gotta give Jay that.
Yeah, I like that. That was funny. Again, decent match. You kind of figured where it was going. Like I mentioned, the lights went out, and the White Six piano thing hit, and then you see Nikki Cross, or Sister Abigail, whatever she's called, appear, and then Chad runs away, and then Nikki gives another VHS tape to Pat, who Pat's been out for the past 2 weeks after a loss in the family. And then she leaves, and then the screen goes to black. But yeah, I guess we can kind of skip ahead to that segment. So, where is it? Oh, yeah, this segment was kind of quick. This video was kind of quicker, whereas the first video seemed more grounded-ish, whereas the past two were more like supernatural and in storyline. This one was Bo explaining the meaning of the Wyatt Six, where he said, you think we're sick, then that's what we're gonna be, and then talks about everybody in the group. You see Joe Gacy. I think, is he wearing a pig mask or like a gas mask?
It's a mixture of both. It's a pig wearing a gas mask.
Okay, so it shows like Joe Gacy's face, and then it shows the mask. It shows Dexter Loomis's face with like the dreadlocks, and then it shows the buzzard mask, and then it shows Eric Rowan's face, and then it shows the bunny mask, and then it shows Nikki Cross, but you don't actually see her face; you see her in the getup. He also says he gave his family a purpose, reintroduces everyone, and then they cut to a segment where Chad Gable is berating Adam Pearce, saying, they're making fun of me. What are you going to do about it? Blah, blah, blah. Maybe I should take a vacation. Adam Pearce opens his office and sees Bo Dallas sitting in the chair, and then slowly turns his head around to Adam Pearce. They close the door, and there's a nice visual of the door closing, and you see Bo make that smile, that creepy smile. So that was pretty good. I like that. What do you think about that segment and also the Wyatt Six video?
Good. It's developing layers for their characters. You don't want to rush this. I think they're doing well, I won't say a stellar job with this so far, but I think it's going good. I think it's going good. You don't need to rush it. People are like, oh, they haven't had a match yet. That Bray Wyatt didn't, when he first came into WWE, he came up to main roster from NXT. He didn't have his first match until SummerSlam. What was like 2013 or whatever it was. So and he was on TV for weeks. So it's the same thing with this here. So just let it play out, see where it goes from here. But I can see maybe this new Wyatt Six of Bo, maybe Dexter Loomis and Eric Rowan versus the new Alpha Academy with the Creeds. So that's something that they probably can do at SummerSlam possibly. So
what did you think about Bo waiting in Adam Pearce's office? Like, were you surprised by that?
No.
And I asked that because, like, I don't know, I kind of figured that we were gonna see Bo in one of these promos, but like as far as like him waiting in Adam Pearce's office, like I thought that was interesting. because it's a way to kind of really keep everybody on their toes.
Yeah. I wasn't surprised. No.
Right. All right. Next, the other match you had was Bronson Reed versus Pete Dunne. Or let me kind of backtrack. So, hey Kyle. Cuts to Sheamus in the back, and Sheamus, watching the vignette, saying that was weird. Talking to, I believe it was Kathy Kelly. And then Bronson Reed comes in, calls him a crybaby, blah, 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 and they set up a match for next week. Bronson Reed goes out and wrestles Pete Dunne. Decent back and forth action. I wrote in my notes. Bronson wins with a tsunami. Afterwards, Sheamus comes out and they both fight. Sheamus gives him a bro kick. Sheamus tries to celebrate with Pete Dunne, but Pete Dunne shoves him off. So I like the continuity. I know the announcers are saying that Sheamus, he didn't leave, but he had to get surgery, and then the Brawling Brutes had to split up. So there's a good storyline there where Pete Dunne's pissed off at Sheamus because he thought he abandoned him. And who's the other guy?
Tyler Bate.
Huh?
Is it Tyler Bate?
No, not Tyler Bate, the big dude who's in NXT and Chase
Ridge
University.
Holland.
There you go. So I like that they added that effect to it. Then you cut to a backstage segment with Damian Priest and Seth Rollins. Seth tells Damian, "I'll back off. After a match, I'll honor our agreement." Damian tells him that the whole gentleman's agreement you can throw out the window after I'm done with Gunther. You want another title shot at this? You got it. So, what was the point of the match on Saturday? I don't fucking know. But Sami Zayn.
I don't think he really means that, but it doesn't matter because he ain't gonna be able to face off again. It doesn't matter. Like, do you think that Damian Priest and Seth Rollins gonna have a match for the title between now and SummerSlam?
I know, but it's the principle. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, again, I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. It's stupid. Yeah, Damian is gonna lose at SummerSlam. Sami Zayn comes out, says, "I'm not the underdog. I am the champion." Says he's been putting in work and deserves a certain amount of respect in the ring. Braun didn't come in to the match with the respect that he should have given the city of Toronto, which is what Sami said. Sami cuts a good promo. Braun comes out. Sami gives the mic to him. Braun says he came out here to look him in the eye. Says he's the only man that he you're the only man to ever beat me. Says there's no reason for him to get another match for the IC title. Then spears him, starts beating his ass. Agents and refs try to tear him apart. There's kind of a funny bit. I mean, I laughed at it, but as Braun's walking away, he does the whole, "Hey, look, what's that over there?" And then turns around and spears Sami again. Ilya comes out to help out Sami. And that sets up a match with Ilya and Braun later. What do you think that means for SummerSlam? Like, do you think that's going to be a triple threat, or do you think it's just going to be Braun and Sami? What do you think?
Could be a triple threat.
I wouldn't mind. I mean, anything with Ilya in it, I'm
I think that's where they're going. Is the triple threat? I was thinking it was going to include Sheamus and maybe Ludwig Kaiser, but But I was there. It seems like they're going away from that now, so I could definitely see Ilya being involved for sure.
And then you had Judgment Day, Finn, JD, and Carlito, versus Awesome Truth and Braun Strowman. Before that, you had a bit with Dom and Liv, because they're going to be in a mixed tag team match later on, where Liv is, I guess, stretching Dom, stretching his leg. I mean, kind of like Triple H and Stratus from 20-something years ago. She's stretching him, and then you see Judgment Day kind of poke their heads out, and Carlito just going, "Hey, that's cool, huh?" So it was kind of a funny bit.
Right.
I thought that was great. But yeah, the tag match, decent 6-man. It was kind of predictable. Judgment Day stomps out Awesome Truth to open the match. Braun comes out and chases everybody around the ring. Braun grabs JD out of the ring. Truth gets in the ring. Or no, Truth and Braun both do like a side-by-side runaway train, whatever the hell you call that thing that Braun does. Finn hits his finisher and the team wins, and Judgment Day wins. I'm sorry. You look over to Miz and he looks very disheveled. So I'm assuming we're gonna get another Miz heel turn on R-Truth, which, yeah. Wyatt, and I already got to the Wyatt 6 one. Ilya Dragunov versus Braun Breaker. Ended in DQ after Braun threw a chair, not a steel chair, but an announcer's chair at Ilya, which I thought was kind of funny because, Braun Strowman used to do that. Sammy comes out to fight Braun. Ilya has a gash on his leg. I don't know how that looked pretty gnarly, but he looked to be pretty fine. And then Sammy, again, kind of like what Ilya did earlier, Sammy comes out to help out Ilya. Then he had Damage Control versus Lyra Valkyria and Chance and Carter. Was it Damage Control won the match? Then Sonya Deville and Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark, who are now forming their own women's faction, came out and interfered and took out Damage Control. And then in the main event, you had Liv Morgan and Dom versus Rey Mysterio and Zelina Vega. Fun main event, mixed tag. Dom was trying to rip off Rey's mass area like he did, a few years ago.
Yep.
Liv was doing the Three Amigos, which, look, I hope I just don't ever do that again, Liv. Zelina does a 619 on Dom, or actually before that, Rey tries to do a 619 on Dom, and then Dom grabs him, and then Zelina goes for a 619 on Dom and hits him. Liv distracted the ref while Dom went for the pin on Rey, and then got the win. So Dom has finally pinned his dad. 1, 2, 3. After the match, Liv is happy and ecstatic, and then she hugs Dom, and Dom hugs her back, and then they fall down on the ground and look like they're about to kiss. Then you hear Rhea Ripley's music play, and the crowd goes, banana, like Pat Patterson used to say. And Liv looks scared. She runs out of the ring like a little bitch. And then Rhea gets back in the ring and gets in Dom's face. The feed cut off in America. So as soon as Rhea gets in Dom's face, that's when the feed cut off. If you lived in Canada or just overseas in general, you got to see the rest of the show, which was basically, Rhea walking out of the ring and Dom apologizing, profusely. So
Which we didn't
again,
really miss much. We didn't miss much here.
well, yeah, but it goes without saying, I can't wait for Raw to be on fucking Netflix already. But that was Monday Night Raw. What'd you think about Raw? Any thoughts?
It was all right. It's like a 6.5.
6.5. Any highlights? Any highlights you want to discuss before we move on to NXT?
Nope. We can move on.
All right, I'm actually excited to talk about NXT. NXT was a really good show this week.
Yep.
Ethan Page opens the show. Ethan Page is the new NXT champion, as you guys already know. Won it at Heatwave, which was pretty shocking. Calls this the beginning of the era of ego. And then Trick Williams comes out, interrupts, saying he wants a rematch. Ethan Page says no. Sean Spears comes out and takes credit for Page's win to the chance of you screwed Trick. Javon Evans comes out and talks a little bit of shit to both of them. They both get into a brawl, which sets up a tag match for later on. So it would have been Trick Williams and Javon Evans versus Ethan Page and Sean Spears, but we'll find out why that wasn't the case.
Yep.
Yeah, good promo.
I thought everyone here looked good for the most part.
Oh yeah. And during it, Ora Mensa came out to attack Ethan Page again, but his security threw him out. Let's see. Brooks Jensen was brought back to NXT. Was never released, but I guess was suspended or whatever. Ava told him that her and Sean, were willing to bring him back. But basically just be on your best behavior, mind your P's and Q's. She also agreed to let Briggs fight Sean Spears next week, but he could not interfere in the main event. Or Josh Briggs, I'm sorry. Next is you had Ariana Grace versus Carmen Petrovich. Okay match. It was a match. as you usually would say. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. It was. I'll leave it at that. Petrovic got the win. And then, during the match, you had JC Jane and Jasmine Nix arrive to watch Grace and Petrovic fight very closely.
Yep.
All right. Next is you had Heritage Cup. Tony D'Angelo, the Heritage Cup champion, versus Lexus King. Okay match. I'm usually not crazy about these Heritage Cup matches, so I was kind of zoning in and out. D'Angelo got the win after defeating King 2-1 to retain the cup. While this is happening, Eddie Thorpe is the DJ, which that was random as shit. But did you have any thoughts on this?
I like the Heritage Cup matches. I think it's a great way to disguise on teaching people in WWE to have a long match. But got kind of broken up into segments, so it's kind of a clever way for them to do that. But but these Heritage Cup matches though, they all not all, but a lot of them were formulated the same. But I thought it was fine for what it was, for sure.
Another thing I've been noticing, or I mean, mainly on this particular episode of NXT, was they seem to be rushing a lot of things, specifically entrances. Because even in the main event, like Ethan Page didn't get a full entrance, and it's just like he's the NXT champion. Like, why wouldn't he get an entrance? But I don't know. I thought that was weird. I don't know why that was what it was. But next is you had Mark Coffey and Wolfgang versus Tyson DuPont and Tyreek Igwe. Match opens pretty hot with DuPont and Igwe coming out to beat the shit out of Gallus. So nice way to kind of get them over a little bit. Pretty physical back and forth tag match. I like what I'm seeing from DuPont and Igwe in this match. Gallus got the win, as you kind of figured they would have. Then you cut to a segment with no quarter catch crew throwing someone in their car trunk, which was Damon Kemp, who is no longer in WWE.
Yep.
So I like that they've found a way to kind of not write them. Well, yeah, write them off, but like I guess because like before when they would release people in the past, they would just be like, they're gone. We're not gonna mention them ever again.
I mean, they do that in NXT all the time.
Well, yeah, in NXT, but like for WWE in general, like when someone was gone, they were gone. But yeah, with NXT,
they did write off Ricochet too on the main roster.
Right. I mean, now they're finding more clever ways to write people up.
Right. Yeah.
Right. They threw Damon Kemp in the back of the car, and what is it? William Regal's kid was like, no excuses, and just turned to everybody. And then you see Ren Sinclair just watching everything and going, "I didn't see anything," and just run off.
Yeah.
So
good scene.
Yeah, I like Maddie. I want to see her do more. Then you had Wesley come out to make an announcement, as we all kind of speculated what that announcement was going to be. Looking disheveled, that he lost on Sunday to Obafemi, not knowing what he was going to do, and then he was I think he already said, I'm thinking about walking away. Then you hear MSK music hit, and then you see the Rascalz.
I mean, I wonder who called that during the post show on Saturday or Sunday. Sorry.
I mean, I think Jeff did as well, but both you and Jeff did. I'll give you and Jeff credit.
Yeah, I wasn't losing. Going to both of us, really.
Oh yeah, all of us did. We're gonna give all of us get the credit. The Rascalz came out from TNA. I love this WWE TNA deal. They came out.
Only working for on WWE side. TNA hasn't really been getting much of anything yet. If we're being blatantly honest with it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but like, I mean, before they had Tatum Paxley, and lately they've been sending a lot of their NXT people to Thursday tapings.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, Tatum's cool. I think she's probably the biggest star, but there has been like no. I mean, obviously not Truck Williams as of yet, but like it has been like really, really like big stars that have gone over there as of yet. So hopefully, I would like to see TNA actually get like bigger stars.
Yeah, me too. Like I know AJ Styles. He kind of speculated maybe I will show up in TNA. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't just want this to be a one-sided thing. Like I want to see like actual stars
Yeah.
in TNA from WWE. You know what I mean? So, which I kind of have something I want to run by you about a certain individual. Whenever we get to that news, which you might call me crazy, but so be it. But yeah, the Rascals came out and they talked to Wes and said, we haven't seen you in a long time. I'm proud of you. They hug him, and then Zach tells him, pretty much you can't retire because we're here to light that fire in you. Let's reunite MSK, let's reunite the Rascals, and they ended it with a hug, which this is my favorite moment of the night. This genuinely made me smile because you know how I feel about Zach Nash Carter. How he left. I'm still mad about it.
I immediately said when they were like welcome back, I was like, fuck Kimberly.
I said the same thing too. Like I know Zach is doing well. Zach's doing well in TNA. He's gonna
I don't know
marry.
what she's up. I don't know what she's up to as of late. I haven't really been seeing her take any bookings or anything like that. So
I wonder why. But yeah, Zach seems to be doing fine in life. He's gonna marry Gigi Dolan, and he's doing well in TNA. But I'm still mad how he left. But nonetheless, the Rascals reunited. There's a possibility you might see an MSK reunion in NXT. I'm happy about it. That segment generally put a smile on my face. Got a little emotional. I'm not gonna lie. But I was happy to see that segment. I was happy to see those boys back together. And Maurice, put it. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Maurice just reminded me. Next week they're gonna face Gallus.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They had the backstage segment with Gallus. So,
But I think you kind of gave a little bit on this segment. But overall, what'd you think about the Rascals reunion?
very good, very good. It's what people wanted to see. It's what people wanted to see as soon as this TNA and WWE partnership has started to lift off. And hey, it's good for all three guys getting back together. They haven't been together on screen since 2020. So, yeah.
Crazy.
Oh,
2020.
Mhm.
Go ahead, finish. Go ahead, finish. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just gonna say it's 2020 is almost near half a decade already. So
2020 feels like it happened like fucking 20 years ago. Like that's how insane it was. That was an insane time to be a wrestling fan.
to be alive,
Oh yeah.
fuck
To be a-
wrestling. Like didn't know if you're gonna be dead or not by this fucking virus.
yeah, I forgot about that little tidbit. Yeah, 4 years ago. Crazy. Yeah, good for the Rascals. I'm happy for them. And then hearing a TNA chant in NXT is just again still surreal. Next is Thea Hale versus Izzy Dame. Rich Holland working as I guess the agent of Chase U, getting people matches. You got Thea Hale a match with Izzy Dame, and possibly in the future he can maybe get her a match against the women's champion. Even got Duke Hudson a North American title shot against Obafemi, which we'll talk about after this match. But yeah, this is a decent match. It's weird because I feel like I don't see Thea wrestle enough. I don't know if that's just me. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Not really.
Right. I mean, I love Thea. Whether she's just being a character or a wrestler, but I feel like I haven't seen her wrestle enough or wrestled that much lately. But yeah, she had this match with Izzy Dame. Won it by submission. Afterwards, Oba appeared in the balcony and called out Duke Hudson. Basically target. Oh yeah, let me kind of backtrack because I'm missing some things. Tatum Paxley came out wearing a sleeved sweater, which was in the same color as Duke University, or not Duke University, Jesus Christ, Chase University, not Duke, and helps Chase get the win. So I guess Tatum is gonna join Chase University, which would be kind of funny. And then afterwards, Oba addresses Duke Hudson about their match next week, and then Duke Hudson cuts a pretty good promo Probably the most fire I've seen from him in a while, where he says you're going to get a Chase University size ass whooping next week. So that'll be an interesting match, just based on both guys. Where that, as far as like height difference, they look like they match up well. I think Duke might be a little taller. I think he's 6'5". I don't know how tall Oba is. Yeah, should be a good match. Oba's obviously going to get the win, but should be a pretty decent match next week.
Yep, for sure.
Then you had the OC versus OTM out the mud. Pretty good match. Pretty good tag match. Lucian Price, he's dating Lola Vice.
Yep.
Which, and Price Vice. It's crazy. But interesting couple. I like OTM. They continue to impress. Granted, kind of like what Jeff said, they kind of seem to be in Jada's shadow. Which, I mean, I don't want that
They
from
are. Yeah, they are right now.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, because Jada is just good. She's like really improved.
I mean, it's kind of like with not exactly, but in sense how Rhea Ripley kind of overshadows the Judgment Day. At times, not always, but it's kind of the same thing. But but literally on a bigger scale, like Jada Parker overshadows the fuck out of those guys.
Oh yeah, but nonetheless, OTM had a really good tag match with the OC. Really good back and forth action. I think Lucian has a good look. I have a feeling he might be the breakout star of the group. I mean, as far as the tag team goes, because Jada's already the breakout star of the act. But
I disagree. I think it's Bronco and Nima. In my opinion, I think it's Bronco. They're both really good, but I think Bronco has the higher upside. He's better on the mic, better in ring.
Okay. Or I mean, there's a possibility they both might end up being good, which would be an even better thing. But
I mean, yeah, they're both going to be good, or they probably both get released. You never know. So,
which nobody would want that. But
yeah, for sure. But just saying, anything can happen,
Meechin came out to address Parker, and then they fought while, despite officials intervening. I'm sorry. And then OTM got the win over the OC. So big upset for OTM, probably the biggest one of their career so far. Again, they've shown improvement anytime I've seen them. So, any thoughts on that? Thoughts on OTM?
I mean, I thought the OC made him look good in this match too. So, I thought the match was good for what it was. And yeah, it seems like they're going to be climbing up the ladder for those NXT tag team titles. Someone has to be Axiom and Nathan Frazier. I mean, also as well. I mean, we may get the Motor City Machine Guns come in. I don't know if they're going to. If they do, they go maybe to the main roster, possibly, or maybe to NXT. But it's not even official with the Motor City Machine Guns either. So we'll see.
Right. Next, you had Sol Ruka and Fallon Henley. This match ended in DQ. Sol Ruka hit her Soul Snatcher, which I think is a cool looking move, but it also looks kind of dangerous because she could possibly land on her head. So I think in the future she might need to think about having a new finisher just for her safety.
No, she can't have a new finisher. There's no way that she's gonna be able to do a new finisher at all. Like that finisher is over as that's what's making her over is the finisher. If you change the finisher, you're changing like the main thing that people are gravitating or towards her for the most part. Not everybody, but yeah, you can't change her finisher. Yeah, she's a gymnast too. Like the right. Likelihood of her hurting this stuff is very, very slim.
I don't know. It is a cool looking finisher, but I don't know. It's just how I feel. Yeah, and then DQ after JC Jane and Nyx came out to beat up Sol Ruka, and then I guess they're forming a thing with Henley.
Yep.
Or not? Yeah, Henley. There you go. Which I don't know. Again, I love Fallon Henley. It just her as a heel. I just don't think it isn't working. She just doesn't. She's much better as a babyface, and there really wasn't a reason for her to turn heel. It was just like she got mad at Thea Hale and then just decided to leave, or I don't fucking know. Just her. I don't know. She works much better as a babyface. I don't know how you feel about that.
She's very good as a babyface. She's very, very good as a babyface. But I like her heel as well. I think she's doing a pretty good job right now.
Okay. And then the Cedric Alexander and Ashante the Adonis are now on NXT. So good for them.
Finally, they get a
But-
shot. So we'll see how they do.
And then throughout the whole night, or I guess I missed something. Brooks Jensen beat up Javon Evans.
Yep.
So now Trick has to look for a new partner. And then during the night, there were Easter eggs sprinkled around the NXT Performance Center as to who that partner might be. I know, what is it? Gallus was like, oh, that fake Scotsman on TNA. Oh, don't say his name. And then Robert Stone earlier, when I forgot who Stevie Turner was bringing up, and then Robert Stone turns around. He's like, don't you dare say his name. So Trick comes out, and lo and behold, it's Joe Hendry.
Yep.
Joe
Awesome.
Hendry comes up. Awesome. Love Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Maybe after this night. I mean, pretty sure after this night, people believe. He is Trick Williams's new tag team partner against Ethan Page and Sean Spears. People love this match. I mean, more so for Joe Hendry. They were happy to see him there.
Very
They were
charismatic.
chanting. I haven't watched too much TNA, so I was kind of new to him in this match as far as like his wrestling goes. And I like the fact that anytime he was getting ready to do something, the camera would just pan to him looking to the camera like, I need to turn my camera on so you can maybe see me actually make faces. But I'll do it in a bit. But yeah, just he was great in here. The crowd was going nuts for him. And then during the match, Ora Mensa chases out Ethan Page. So that leaves what the fuck's his name? Sean Spears by himself. And then Joe Hendry gets the pin for him and Trick, and him and Trick celebrate.
Yep.
After the match, wave their hands from side to side. I believe in Joe Hendry. Which, man, Joe Hendry, his first wrestling match, his first like actual wrestling match on WWE television, is in the main event of their weekly television show where he teams up with the former NXT champion in a tag match against the current NXT champion, and then pins Sean Spears and gets the win for his team.
And that's why I say when he got eliminated from that battle royal that it doesn't matter. Because he was gonna get brought back. Like no one knows. Like, have we seen fucking Kazarian since that battle royal? Like, and he was like near the finals, like, not near finals, but like near the end of it.
Like, I'm happy for Joe Hendry. Like,
it's fine. He's gonna be. I think he may have a match. I think he may possibly even get an opportunity against Ethan Page. I'm not saying like at a pay-per-view, but like maybe on NXT TV, maybe for the title. And he'll lose, of course, but like I could definitely see Sean giving Joe Hendry the opportunity for sure.
Right. Or I mean, Great American Bash is coming up in a month. You never know.
Yeah, that could be the main event. You never know. Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, Joe Hendry, he the gimmick so far is what's keeping him, fresh. And it's always one of the things in wrestling where if you have something hot, get everything you need out of it. Him in the ring, again, he doesn't do anything crazy. He's kind of like a
he's like LA Knight, but not as good.
LA Knight, yeah, he's like kick and punch guy. That's the best way I'll describe him. I know Jeff Lippman called him mid. I don't know if I'll call him mid in the ring. I would say he's average. He does everything right. He doesn't do anything he's not supposed to do.
There's no one on that level that is really like, if you really know the business. And I'm not saying that I do, but like I'm around indie wrestling a ton here in San Antonio. They're really bad wrestlers. Like he'll go in there and like he'll make that match a fucking a memorable one. but in comparison to his peers on TV, he is average, pretty average. Nothing wrong with that, but if he can use his character work to get over in the match, and he can do what he needs to do. Do I see him as like a world champion? Probably not, but you don't need to be world champion. You know what I mean? Especially in this era of wrestling too as well. You can make as much money as you possibly can and not have to be a world champion. So,
Well,
um,
so that kind of creates a conversation that we can have. Like, not everybody has to be world champion.
exactly.
Like
56 Roberts was never world champion. He was never.
Roddy
He was never.
Piper.
He never carried a title in WWE. And
Roddy Piper, never world champion.
yeah, never world champion. We go on and go on. There's tons of names in the history books, but this guy behind me, Buff Bagwell. You know what I mean? Never world champion. You know what I mean? But it's fucking Buff Bagwell. Like, you know what I mean? He's a memorable, wrestler from the Attitude Era. You know what I mean? I mean, outside the first three in the NWO, like, to me, Buff Bagwell was like that next guy that was like, oh, he's always on TV. He's always there. Like him, Scott Steiner, guys like that. So, but yeah, you don't need to be world champion. If you have a gimmick and if you have something that the fans can gravitate towards as far as your character, who gives a fuck if you're winning world championships and things of that nature? Like at the end of the day, it doesn't really fucking matter. It just matters like if you can connect to the audience, if you can, be fresh every single week, if you cut a good promo, if you have emotion, character work, that's what matters.
Right, kind of like LA Knight, which you kind of compared Hendry to. Like, do you see LA Knight ever being a world champion? Because I think he could be. He's obviously going to win the US title at SummerSlam. That's the way it kind of looks like.
I don't
Do you
think.
see him being?
I don't think he needs to be. No, I don't think it matters really. To be honest, I don't think it matters if he becomes world champion or not. But I don't think he needs to be.
So
I don't like Jey Uso. I don't Jey Uso needs to be world champion either.
no.
He's so they're both so over. Like, you can print money with these guys.
Exactly. At the end of the day, would you rather have 5-star matches or would you rather have money as a wrestler?
I mean, you can have both.
well, yeah. Like, again, Steve Austin made money, but he had the match against Brett. That's at WrestleMania 13. That's considered one of the best wrestling matches at Mania. But yeah, it's just like, at the end of the day, like sometimes, I guess for certain people, it's about like what sells. LA Knight still sells money. He still, gets a reaction.
Right.
And Joe Hendry, we don't know how long this thing is going to last, but he's really selling the shit out of it.
Yep.
So, and good for him.
He's doing a great job. He's doing a great job with it.
I mean, even Jim Cornette likes him. And Jim Cornette is like, I mean, again, we shouldn't like base the things we like on what Jim Cornette likes. But when Jim Cornette says, "Hey, I like him," it's like, "Ooh, you're impressing the right people, kid." So, yeah, that was NXT. Pretty good show. NXT is usually a good show, regardless.
They're hot right now for sure. Yeah.
I don't have the ratings. Let me get the ratings up real quick because I think NXT had a bump in the ratings this week. So let's start with last Friday on SmackDown on July 5th, which was basically a precursor to the very next night.
Money Bank, yeah.
They did a 2.256 and a 0.66 in the demo.
Yep.
When the previous week they did a 2.256, which I think they just got the same ring. Oh yeah, they were up. Rampage on. Oh no, wait, I'm behind. Okay, AEW Rampage on July 5th got a 309 and a 0.10 in the demo. The previous week they got a 303 and a 0.9, so they're actually up. So good for them.
I don't know what happened on Rampage, but that's good.
I think Jeff Lippman watched it, which he's a soul.
I saw a little bit of Collision. Collision was okay. Collision was okay. I went back and watched some of it.
I hear decent things about Collision. Collision from July 6th drew a 306.08. The previous week they drew a 422.2. 12 in the demo, so they're
It was
down.
gonna be down because of fucking of course it was gonna be down. I mean, yeah, Marco Stunt come back though.
Yay!
Yeah. I'm not a fan of his, but I did pop when he came out to the Jurassic Express theme. I haven't heard in like 4 years, so I was like, oh shit, match is gonna be shit, but like I pop for it. I pop for him coming out. You know what I mean? Then until I realized, oh no, but it made sense too because he was going against Jungle Boy, and the former tag partners, and Jack Perry was shocked, and I get where they were going with it. I got where they were going with it.
It's like
Match was
John
shit.
Cena.
I didn't like the match though.
It's like John Cena comes back and announces his retirement. It's like AEW is like, we'll raise you John Cena and we'll give you Marco Stunt. It's like, no thanks. Oh man, but Raw July 8th drew a 1.75, 0.59 the demo. The previous Raw they were actually up 1.878, 0.62, so they were down. And then NXT from last night drew a 656 and a 0.24 in the demo. The previous week they were 542 and 0.15, so they're actually up this week. So good for NXT.
Oh yeah, sure.
All right. So that was ratings. Let's get to news. So John Cena, as we already know, on Saturday at Money in the Bank, he announced that that 2025. I don't know if he specifically said 2025, but he announced that he's retiring from
He said that
WWE.
during the when we talked about it during the post show.
Yeah, I have the quote right here. So he said in the scrum after Money in the Bank, he said he plans to do between 30 to 40 dates through 2025 as an end to his wrestling career, which began in 2000. He has considered retirement before, and during the press conference, said the timing now feels optimal. This is on CNN, so CNN's actually covering this, which is nuts. He said the business is at incredible heights of popularity and awareness. There are some big things going on, especially the Netflix debut happening in January of 2025, and I take pride in being an individual WWE can call up and say, remember that idea? The time is now. Let's do something that can bring us all together. He also said people say they're walking away and 2 years later they come back. I want to set the record straight right now. I'm done. This is it. Until it isn't. Yeah, that was his quote. So 2025 is the Cena retirement tour. I guess something I kind of want to run by you and you can kind of give your thoughts on it. I think a lot of his retirement tour is not so much going to be dream matches or rematches against like other people. I think it's going to be a lot of firsts for Cena. I can imagine WWE wanting to give him a lot of firsts. Like, for example, he's never been Intercontinental Champion. I can see them maybe having him feud for the Intercontinental title, whoever that is, and maybe giving him the Intercontinental title for like a month or like a few weeks. So that'd be interesting, because Cena can be like, "Oh, I'm a Grand Slam winner," blah blah. He's never been King of the Ring. Maybe Cena can compete for King of the Ring, just to say, "Hey, I have King of the Ring," or not necessarily win, but just like fight for it. Maurice kind of took the words out of my mouth. Cena can maybe do some shows for NXT. You know what I mean? Like, because Cena can come in and feud with the NXT champion, whoever that is. I'm assuming it's going to be Obafemi next year. So let's say he goes after Obafemi and just says like, of every title I've won, I've never won the NXT title or competed for the NXT title. So maybe Cena can do a takeover and wrestle Obafemi. Not win, of course, but just put over Obafemi. What else? I wouldn't put it past WWE having him win the Rumble. So that way they can say, him and Steve Austin are the only 3-time Rumble winners. That could be a possibility. As far as like other matches, like I have a feeling, because again, this is just a rumor, just people wanting this match, but I have a feeling that the first Raw on Netflix is going to be a big match for Cena. And if I had to pick anybody, I think it's going to be CM Punk because they're going to want big stars and they're going to want a big match. So that seems like a high profile match. More than likely, we're going to get Cena and Orton at Mania. That seems like the better match. I guess the better on paper match that makes sense. You're possibly going to get more rematches, maybe him and Sheamus to do another match. I mean, maybe him and Rock. You never know. And then put over some people. Like he's going to put over Gunther. That seems like the best way to go. Put over Braun. Put over Trick Williams. But those are my thoughts.
He's not going to have that many matches.
I mean, again, I said maybe. I said maybe, but
he's probably going to have a total of maybe 5 matches tops. Like,
well, he said 30 to 40 dates.
Yeah, dates. That doesn't mean that he's wrestling all those dates either. That's just showing up. That could be showing up for a quick promo, showing up backstage. Like I think the maximum amount of matches is maybe 10, but Cena's in rough shape wrestling wise. I don't see him. I don't like 30 to 40 days. Let's just say 40. Let's just say he does 40 days, right? I see him wrestling 10, and some of those matches may be rematches possibly. So
yeah,
I'm just gonna name names out there. I'm not saying that these are the matches, but Cody, Gunther, Randy, Punk. For the loving God, hopefully not Brock Lesnar, because Brock Lesnar seems to be on his way back, possibly. Roman. Yeah, Roman, of course, Roman. Maybe they want to pull over someone like a Jacob Fatu, maybe. That's cool. Braun Breaker. Okay, maybe we could do that, right? You know what I mean? They may want to he may want to get his revenge against Solo. You know, I mean, I don't agree with it, but that's a possibility that could happen, right? And I don't know, pick your 10th. It doesn't matter, but like I don't see him having a one-on-one match with Sheamus. I don't see that. If they do it, I'll be shocked. I'll be honest. I'll be shocked if they decide to do that. They're going where the money is at this point. I don't see him going down to NXT. Maybe as a date, but as far as it maybe does like a 5-knuckle shuffle and an AA to someone, but I don't see a match down there. I just don't. I don't think they want to give TV time to someone who's going to be on his way out as far as in a match capacity. I just personally I don't see that, but yeah. But as we talked about on Sunday, I mean, you know, Cena is a legend. You know, he deserves everything that he gets. I wouldn't be surprised if they do give him a world title, either the world championship or the WWE championship on his way out to break Ric Flair's record. If he wants it, WWE is going to give it to him. So there's that. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins the Royal Rumble to get that match at Mania. I don't think it's needed, personally, but yeah, I think it's more of, hey, it's my farewell tour. I'm gonna put some talent over. Well, maybe, we don't know, because he wasn't putting nobody over in that press conference, because he hijacked that fucking thing. So yeah, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, you know, they gotta treat this Cena farewell tour right. I think they will. And we'll see what happens. But they just got to keep with big time matches. I don't want to see John Cena versus fucking, I don't know. I don't want to see. I mean, as much as I would love to have him go over, John Cena versus Ilya Dragunov, it's not needed. Like, it's not needed. I'll love to see Ilya get the rub, but it's not needed. Him versus Trick Williams, not needed. Him versus Mello, maybe him versus Mello. And the only reason I'm saying that is because he did use John Cena's line against Adam Cole. We're talking about ruthless aggression, so that's probably where they can tie that back. And see, I'm using a story element to it, not just because of, Mel's the new Cena, or however you want to look at it, right? So, but they do like Cena versus, like, I don't know, Tony D. I love Tony D, but no, thank you. So they have to make sure that these matches mean something, that they have meaning. I know that they will do that, but you can't just put Cena against, any giant come lately.
Okay. All right. That's just my opinion. Yeah, we'll move on to that, or move on to the next topic. Actually, let me go to like a bigger topic. So Stephanie Vaquer, or Vaquer, is that how you say her name?
Yeah, Vaquer. That's how you say it. Yep.
Who was just at Worlds Collide, wrestling Mercedes.
Forbidden Door.
She Forbidden Door, whatever. Is now
You're
WWE
thinking
bound.
about NXT and TNA coming. That's what you're thinking about.
Yeah. But she is WWE bound.
Yep.
Fightful reported that Vaquer is WWE and NXT bound and was backstage at NXT Heatwave last Sunday. Originally, it was announced that today that Stephanie Vaquer is leaving CMLL and NJPW for personal reasons. She has been stripped of the CMLL World and Tag Team titles. This is after Vaquer dropped the NJPW Strong Women's title to Mercedes Moné at Forbidden Door last month. Forbidden Door. She had been praised leading into and coming out of the bout. Over the last week, it had been rumored that she had interest in both AEW and WWE, although she had a CMLL contract. Fightful Select confirmed today that Vaquer has had talks with both AEW and WWE. Oh, that's the old article, but this is an update. Vaquer is heading to WWE. Shawn Michaels confirmed it.
Yeah, he broke
on
the news
on Twitter X, and then Stephanie replied with a heart emoji. So, this is pretty big. Because usually with a lot of these, again, this is not me being a fuck AEW statement. Well, maybe it is, but usually with a lot of these cases as of late, with someone like this, where they have a lot of hype from them and they're overseas, they're in the indies, A, B, C, and D, they end up going to AEW, for the money, which again, nothing wrong with that. If someone were to offer me that much money, I'd be a fool not to at least consider it. But someone like Stephanie Vaquer, who I'll be honest, I'm not familiar with her work, only just, from what I saw in AEW for that one appearance. She realized, hey, WWE's hot. They're where it's at. Their women's division is like leaps and bounds ahead of everybody else.
Well, I don't mean to cut you off, but
Go ahead.
do you have let me ask you this. What's the reason why you think Stephanie Vaquer signed to WWE?
Because it's hot.
No, it has nothing to do with that.
Why?
It's because of, this is a lot deeper, but she had domestic violence abuse against her former partner, El Cuetro, back in 2023. Okay.
I didn't know that.
He was part of the AAA World Trios champion. I think he still is. Regardless, though, the reason why, this is my opinion, the reason why she chose WWE over AEW is because Rush and Dralistico works for AEW. And you're asking yourself why? Why does that matter? What does one have to do with the other? Well, Rush and Dralistico came out on social media in defense of El Cuetro when the allegations were forming, and they supported them on, it was on social media. I don't know if it was Twitter or Instagram, whatever the case would be. They soon deleted their post after. So I think that she feels that she cannot be in that same organization of at least two people, at least, who supported her former boyfriend. I guess it was, I don't know if it was her husband, but her former boyfriend, at least, supporting her former boyfriend who abused her. I believe that's the reason. I believe that's the reason. I don't think it has nothing. I mean, obviously it has to do with like money and like, oh, you get to work, that has to do with it. But I think the tip, because you got AEW's got to offer her money too as well. Offer her money, be able to wrestle, right? Have great matches, maybe even wrestle back in Mexico, all that stuff, right? WWE, on the other hand, has that same thing, minus probably like the wrestling in Mexico, and she's from Chile, go back and wrestle in Chile. But I think that she didn't want to be predominantly in that environment where she knew of two men that supported a former boyfriend who domestically abused her.
Jesus Christ.
That's the reason right there. That's the reason.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I saw people on Twitter too as well, like, oh man, she had to get a match against Mercedes, had to drop her title. That's why you do it. It has nothing to do with that. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. That's my personal belief. Now, you guys may not heard about this, but there's gonna be wind that's gonna break out from this on the American side of things, because this has been around this happened back in March of last year, so it's been over a year, almost a year and a half with this thing. So, but I think we're gonna start catching more wind of it going on in the next few months, and I think that's a big reason why she ended up joining WWE. So, but I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just want to make that point clear, to make sure that I don't really think it had to do with just WWE being hot. Like it has to do with more than that, though. So sorry about that. But
no, I'm glad you brought that up, because that really ties everything together.
Yeah.
So kind of what you were saying, like, do you think it was more just like, I have to sign here because I don't want to be there, or it was like, I do want to sign here, but I can't really go there? Like, do you think that's kind of
I think she legitimately wants to be in WWE still. I think at one point she probably made a lean to AEW, because there was reports of her trying to join AEW, right? But I think that she realized that, oh wow, I'm gonna be here like every week, and these two guys are gonna be here. I don't know if I like that. So that's what I think. I think she ended up weighing her options with WWE. Oh man, I get to be in Orlando. Oh man, you mean I don't have to pay for my host? You don't have to pay for my apartment? Oh man, y'all take care of that for me on the NXT contract. Oh man, you guys pay for my travel whenever we go out and do these shows. Oh man, because that's what happens on the NXT contract that not everybody knows about. So like, for example, like people like Trick, people like Roxy, and all of Chase U, everyone that's in NXT right now, their apartments and their travel is paid for. It's paid for. It's paid for by WWE.
Yeah.
Like, why not do that? Why not do that? And obviously, she's gonna come in and she's gonna main event immediately. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna bring her and Julia in. Julia's like a fucking female Nakamura. I think Stephanie Vaquer. I'll be honest. I only seen maybe a couple of matches. I saw her versus Julia earlier this year. That's how she won the NJPW Strong title. Stephanie Vaquer, very good match. I compare Stephanie Vaquer probably to like a Daniel Bryan in a certain way, as far as like the technical aspect. She doesn't do like the kicks like Daniel Bryan, but like as far as like the technician ground wrestling, I think she's very comparable to Daniel Bryan. Probably not as polished, obviously, but I think she has those tendencies. So you're bringing those two women in there. Then you got Roxy. Then you got women on the up and coming, like like Jada Parker, and you got Fallon Henley, and you got Jasmine Nix, and you got Lash Legend, who's improving, and you got a damn deep women's roster down there. Soruka, Kalani Jordan, like fucking NXT, like they're gonna have the best women's roster in our wrestling, if it's not that already. So I think this is it is a huge signing, not just because of, oh man, I think she's like a tremendous in-ring talent, which she is. And like I said, I only seen a couple matches from her, so like I don't know, I haven't really seen everything that she can do. But for what I have seen, I see that she's gonna be a great get, because she had a great match with Mercedes. Both women put on a damn good match. She had a great match against Julia earlier this year in Japan. Both women put on a great match. So, I think this is gonna be a good sign. And eventually she could go up to the main roster, and guess who's on the main roster? She loves Rey Mysterio. Maybe she put her in the LWO. That'll be kind of stupid a little bit. I don't think I'll love to see that, but at least you will have direction, going to the main roster if the LWO is still together at that time. So good for Stephanie.
She definitely has a look. She has an interesting look to her.
It's like Maleficent.
Yeah, I was gonna say at the horns, like she comes out, as Maleficent, and I need to watch some of her stuff, so I'll definitely kind of do my research on her. But yeah, just in good pickups for WWE, especially for their women's division, which is like again, it's the best division in wrestling, especially that NXT, performance center. It's the future of women's wrestling. So I'm interested to see what they do. I'm happy about this pickup. Obviously, not happy about the circumstances that you just brought up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look it up. Like it's
I'll look
all
it up.
there on it is all there on YouTube. You can find videos about it. Like just look it up and just put two and two together. You know what I mean? So
I mean,
it's
just
there.
again, just we don't mean to bring the room down, but yeah, that's unfortunate that something like that happens, especially in the wrestling business. Um, but well again, she's in WWE, so see what she can do. All right, let's see what we got next on the docket. Shelton Benjamin was on Chris Van Fleet, talked about the possibility of being a trainer in the WWE. He said, I don't think that door is closed. He said, let's see what we got. He said, were there any talks about being a producer? Chris Van Fleet asked him. Shelton said, there was a talk of me possibly becoming a trainer at some point. I don't think that door has closed. I just haven't pursued it yet. You still want to wrestle? Yes, I love training people. I love teaching, and that comes from my amateur wrestling background. But at this point, I still think a little selfishly. I feel like I have a few more things that I'd like to accomplish. While yes, I definitely am interested, I put aside my own ambitions, to really be able to do that job correctly. And right now, at least today, I'm not ready to think a little selfishly, or I'm not ready to not think a little selfishly. And then about a
Yep.
possible, or no, I think
Yeah.
that's all I have.
Oh no, he
But
also mentioned about Max Caster not wanting him in AEW too,
oh yeah,
which was a little weird. It's gonna keep at that.
but I didn't see that full interview. I like Chris Van Fleet. Um, I don't know. How do you feel about Chris Van Fleet?
One of the best.
No, I just want. I don't know. I just asked you because I never asked you about it. But yeah, I like Chris Van Fleet. I'll watch his interviews while I'm at work, or sometimes when I'm doing sometimes when I'm working out.
Yeah, he's,
I'll have his.
he's fucking great. Like he's one of the best in the space. He's an actual journalist. He's not a fake fuck who just ties to one side. Like, oh, I'm pro AEW. Oh, I'm pro WWE. Like he's in the middle. He's a wrestling fan, pro wrestling fan,
Exactly.
which you can appreciate. So
Yeah, like I see people complain, being like, "Oh yes, the softball questions." I'm like, that's how he fucking gets guests on.
no, well, yes and no. It depends what it is. It depends what it is. But when he had Patrick Clark on the
Oh yeah, I
Velveteen
saw
Dream,
that.
he asked the hardball questions.
Oh, well, that was kind of like inevitable for that interview, and that was kind of like an awkward interview at some points because Clark brings out like what is it like screenshots of text messages, and like Chris has to
I
like read
mean,
them
I
off.
mean, I mean, I would do the same too as well if I was being accused. Like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I agree. But it's just like that was kind of like one of those interviews. Like, oh shit. Um, yeah. Like he's not married to a brand. Van Fleet. Like he'll have WWE people on. He'll have AEW people on. He had Nick
right?
Gage on, which is
Yep.
crazy. But yeah, I like him. He's a good interview. Um, well, and yeah, thoughts on Shelton's comments.
None.
Okay.
I mean,
Uh,
I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say about it.
I want your deep inquisitive thoughts.
Yeah,
Um,
then you ain't gonna get them from me. Not with that one at least.
ah. Next, a new element to WWE could be introduced. As the promotion heads towards new chapters, with SmackDown going from Fox to the USA Network, NXT leaving USA to go to CW in the fall, Raw heading to Netflix in January, WWE wants to keep the momentum going. One idea for the production side could give fans a even closer look to the in-ring action. Sean Ross Sapp, take it for what you will, has reported that another element discussed of late has been the utilization of the ref cam, which could make its way on screen pretty soon. WCW previously utilized the
Ref cam.
ref eye cam during the
Yep.
early 90s.
Yep.
This has been used in other sports, including MMA during the peak of the Pride days. WWE is fresh off of its Money in the Bank and Heatwave PLEs, both highly praised shows. I don't know about Money in the Bank, but yeah. So apparently WWE might be adding a ref cam. Thoughts on that?
I don't think it's needed. What how does that add to the show?
I don't know. Like it could I don't know. Kyle's saying the ref cam can be fun. I don't know. Kind of like you said, I don't think it's needed, but I think if they try it, sure. That's kind of how I feel about it. I don't really have. I'm not for it or against it. I'll put it that way. Like,
It's a waste of budget to me. I don't
right.
think it's necessary.
I mean, if they add it, like again, it's wrestling. We know how wrestling goes. We get it. But like, I think if you're gonna add it, make sure it's something that can impact a match.
Like I would much rather them add a I'm like be innovative. Like you don't have to necessarily do like a corner cam, kind of like what AEW has or whatever. But you know what? This is a dumb idea, and I'm saying it right now. It's very dumb. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's stupid. People can get hurt on it. But you could probably put a fucking camera like some cameras like underneath the canvas and have it pointing up. Something different. It's stupid, but something different. I don't know, but I don't think a referee cam is necessary. Nor is a fucking a camera underneath the canvas is necessary. I just don't think it. I don't think it really adds to the production. I think what they're doing right now is just fine. They don't need to like overdo it, in my opinion.
No, I get you. I mean, again, I kind of reiterate what I just said. Like, I'm not really for it or against it. Like, it's one of those things of like, sure, but if you don't add it, it's not going to really mean anything. If you do add, it's not going to really mean anything to me. It just seems like WWE, now that they brought in the guy who did ESPN and college football for them, they're really going out of their way to make this look like a sports show, and I get it and I appreciate that. But it's just like at the end of the day, it's wrestling. You don't need to make it 100% a sports show. You know what I mean? It's still a wrestling show at the end of the day. Which I'm surprised I don't have the dude who just got signed. Hold on.
What?
WWE signed an announcer from ESPN.
Yeah, they signed Joe
Hold on.
Tessitore.
There you go. I have it right here. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
WWE adds another ESPN talent, veteran football announcer Joe Tessitore, to the broadcast team. ESPN veteran, he will continue to work at the sports TV giant in addition to the WWE. Will join the broadcast booth this summer. He will work alongside analysts Wade Barrett and Corey Graves. Tessitore is a 22-year-old veteran of ESPN, where he has been a fixture on its college football games. He has also called Monday Night Football games, Pro Bowl, and NFL wildcard coverage. He is also one of ESPN's leading boxing announcers. I'm sorry.
Yep.
The veteran sportscaster is a late example of WWE moving in a different direction with his broadcast under the leadership of Chief Content Officer Triple H, Paul Levesque. Blah, blah, blah. And then he said it's an honor to be a part of the WWE with the recent success and the trajectory are undeniable. Yeah, I mean, I think I might have heard his voice before. I need to hear it again. But like, from what I read about this when I did see it, the guy's obviously a wrestling fan. I mean, he said that he is a fan of the sport, or he is a fan of wrestling.
He did do the narration for the WrestleMania 40 backstage.
So again, just I like that it's like, hey, let's bring in people that have talent, but let's make sure they're a fan of the product first. You know what I mean? It's like, again, I know I'm comparing two different people, but Samantha Irvin, like she grew up a wrestling fan, and it also helps that she can fucking sing. So they brought in somebody that actually knows the product. So yeah, I don't know much about this guy. I probably should, but again, I'll see how it works out. How do you feel about it?
I mean, he's a great sports announcer. So hopefully they can transition over to the world of pro wrestling. So I mean, and then Brooke, who's a great baseball announcer, it didn't translate over properly. So um,
Who's that other guy, Jimmy Smith or whatever?
yeah, he was okay. I thought he was okay. Um,
I don't remember.
I think a lot of people kind of shat on him more than necessary. I thought he wasn't fucking great. I mean, the announced teams that we have right now are a lot better, but I really thought they were gonna have Corey Graves to continue this do the play by play still, but I don't know. I mean, he's still gonna be there, but obviously he's gonna help out Joe a lot too as well. So we'll see how it goes. But I thought Corey Graves was doing a good job. The way that was right now. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I hope he does well. I really do. I really hope he does well because he's a great college football announcer. Like he makes the game so fucking dramatic. So he did well. He did well on Monday Night Football as well, and he's not a bad boxing announcer too. So
We will see. WWE bringing back the No Mercy theme for the upcoming NXT PLE.
yep, just like last year.
What was that?
I said just like last year. I think.
Right. WWE used this pay-per-view theme for the main roster from 99 to 08. And then last year, like you mentioned, the NXT brand used the theme. At last year's pay-per-view event, Trick Williams became the North American champion, which lasted 2 days. Ilya Dragunov faced Carmelo Hayes for the NXT title, which that was a fucking great match. The main event was Becky Lynch defending the NXT Women's Championship against Tiffany Stratton in an Extreme Rules match. The show will air on September the 1st from Denver, Colorado. It will follow their Great American Bash TV special in Sci-Fi or on Sci-Fi in August. And yeah, that's about it. And here's an updated list of WWE's PLE schedule, just to kind of keep the conversation going. SummerSlam, August the 3rd, will be at Cleveland Brown Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Saturday, August 31st, WWE Bash in Berlin and the Mercedes-Benz Arena in Berlin, Germany. And then, like we mentioned, No Mercy on September 1st. Yeah, I see you, RJ. I know. RJ just texted me. Saturday, October the 5th, WWE Bad Blood at State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. And then Saturday, November the 2nd, WWE Crown Jewel in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. So that's WWE's pay-per-view schedule for the next few months. Few news things. Drew McIntyre signs with Paradigm Talent Agency. Variety reported today he is the latest WWE star to sign with Paradigm Talent Agency for their representation in all areas of entertainment. He follows in the footsteps of Tiffany Stratton and CM Punk. McIntyre is slated to make his feature film debut this September in The Killer's Game, starring Dave Bautista. In the movie, he plays a bounty hunter seeking to take out Bautista's character. Yeah, good for McIntyre. He needs work after he just got suspended. So, but any thoughts on McIntyre joining possibly joining the footsteps of Batista, John Cena, The Rock?
No. I don't care. I don't care about that.
Oh boy.
Hope he does well. Yeah.
Good for Drew.
Hope he makes a lot of money, but I just don't care about that.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Lastly, on the bit of news I have, WWE SummerSlam ticket sales are looking strong. Let's see what we have. WrestleTix, which does a great job at tracking ticket sales for all pro wrestling events, noted the show has sold over 47,156 tickets for a setup of 54,744 tickets with 7,588 tickets left. They sold over 720 tickets in the last week and have 3,320 tickets on the secondary market for resale. So SummerSlam, as we kind of all suspected, it's one of the biggest shows of the year for WWE. It's the biggest party of the summer, as they like to so eloquently put it. Any thoughts on SummerSlam looking pretty well this year as far as ticket sales go?
Water is wet. Of course they were gonna. Of course they're selling tickets. Of course they're making money. Like, yeah.
Do you have any
Good.
news?
Awesome.
Do you have any news to bring up?
A little bit. We like Rio here, right?
Who?
Rio.
Sure.
All right. Well, I'll skip that then. Josh Renee's Bloodsport. Well, I mean, she fractured her arm. So, in case anyone is wondering where Rio's at, she fractured her arm. So, it sucks. I'm just saying. I only brought it because it sucks, and she seemed just very emotional on social media. So hopefully she recovers. But Josh Renee's Bloodsport. Shayna Baszler is going to be facing off against Mayu Yamashita. Should be a hell of a match. That's going to be on Sunday, July 28th. So yeah, both two battle-hardened martial arts and pro wrestling training women. So
Nice.
that should be very very cool sight. Would you be checking that out possibly?
What was that again? It was Bloodsport, right?
Yep.
I've been wanting to check out those Bloodsport shows for a while, so I might give it a watch.
It's on Sunday the 28th. So yeah.
Nice.
And the last thing here, and I'm surprised no one from. Okay. I don't want this to be a long conversation. I really don't.
Right.
It may end up being a long conversation unintentionally, but the NBA is signing, or they're going to actually have their media rights with ESPN, Amazon, and NBC, leaving TNT, TBS, Turner out of the loop. So they won't have it no more. So that's official as of today, a few hours ago. Why do you think I would be bringing that up randomly on a Wednesday?
Does this have to do with some friends of ours from All Friends Wrestling?
All Elite Wrestling, yes. A lot of people are thinking that AEW is going to get a big bag out of this. Although that is a possibility, I don't see that. Then the reason why I'm saying that is because that. So you gotta think about it this way. The NBA generated a lot of revenue and a lot of viewership on Thursday nights, and they got a lot of advertisers. If the NBA is going away, the advertising dollars won't be the same without the NBA. Thus, Turner, TNT, TBS will be making less money. Thus, the contract offer with AEW, because AEW wanted $1 billion, they're not going to get $1 billion. I'll be shocked if they get $1 billion.
No.
Thus, the AEW contract offer that was going to be is going to be less than what they are. So a lot of people are not thinking about that. So they can probably still get maybe 500 million, 600 million, but it's still the same, because if, let's just say AEW does get $1 billion, let's just say this. Why would that be bad for AEW? AEW does not want to get $1 billion from Turner. They don't want to get $1 billion. Well, why would you think I say that?
I have a feeling you're going to tell me.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you, but I just want you to partake in the conversation. If you had a guess,
I mean, you're asking me why AEW doesn't want $1 billion?
why do they not want to get $1 billion?
I don't know why anyone would not want to get $1 billion. I want $1 billion.
There's always caveats to it, right? So if they ended up getting $1 billion, guess what that comes with? That comes with, hey, are you guys doing your part as far as As far as advertisement, hey, are you guys doing your part as far as viewership? Are you averaging over 1 million? How
So
about are
another
you averaging over 1 million for Dynamite? Are you averaging over 500,000 for Rampage? Are you averaging over 750,000 for Collision? We know that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna
so
happen. So if they do that, that means that they get their money, but they're gonna come down hard on them if that's the case. Rather, if it's only 500, 600 million, they'll where they're at right now.
no.
Turn will be okay with. I think they probably want a little bit more in viewership still. Like, hey, let's try to get to maybe like average, let's say 750, 800,000. They want to get their money's worth, and $1 billion is not gonna get. They do not want $1 billion because that's gonna seek doom for the company. I think.
So in other words, it's like when a movie studio gives a movie a budget, it's like
Yes.
we're gonna give you this, but you gotta not only make that money back, we want you to double it.
Yes. Exactly.
Oy,
Exactly.
oy vey. So
That's a lot. These fans, these fans on Twitter, they don't think. They don't think about shit like this.
no, they don't.
They don't think about this. Yes, it's great on paper, but what does that do for them in the long run? As of right now, can they turn around? Anything can happen, right? Anything can happen. I thought I like Dynamite tonight for what I saw, at least. You know what I mean? I didn't see the whole show, but for what I saw, I was like, okay, looks all right. I'm probably gonna go back and watch it. Last week's Dynamite was pretty good, but you gotta stay consistent with it, and you gotta start doing different things to grow your audience. Even if the shows are good, shows could be great. They could be the best wrestling shows on the fucking planet, right? Even some of your pay-per-views. So, pay-per-views wrestling wise are the best shows when it comes to in-ring stuff, in my opinion, at least. But if you're not growing your audience, it doesn't mean shit to your employer at the end of the day. So they need to find that fine line between having great matches and growing your audience, and they can do that. But it's just as of right now, I don't see that audience growing as of right now. I think what happened is that all the new fans that they could have got, I think they are almost gone. Right? I think you still get some new fans, but I don't see you averaging 1 million. I don't see that. I don't see you averaging 1
No,
million. If you
no.
get $1 billion, you need to be averaging 1 million. You need to your point, Drew, have the return on investment and then some. I don't see that for AEW. They do not want $1 billion. 500, 600, maybe 700 million. Great. You don't want the billion. Trust me. That's it.
Oy. That's gonna be interesting to see how that turns out. All right. Since we're bringing up the NBA, we can maybe talk a little NBA. Maurice is asking, Steve Kerr is coaching Team USA in the Olympics. You guys willing to cheer the coach of the Warriors? Steve Kerr played for the Spurs, Maurice.
Yeah.
So
I've never had beef with Golden State. I
I
have no beef with any NBA teams with the exception of Houston and Dallas. That's it. Like every other NBA team, I'm fine with. Like I have no hate against any NBA team outside of those two.
no, I love Steve Kerr. I've always loved Steve Kerr.
Oh yeah, he's well respected here.
He won two championships in San Antonio, and we remember Game 6 of the
I was,
2003 conference finals.
I was just about to say that when he lit up the fucking Mavericks. Yep. Yeah, he was the reason why we went to the finals. That game
Yeah,
right there.
I remember watching
We
that
were
with my
down.
brother.
We were down that game.
Yeah.
And like he started to hit threes and fucking Robinson on the bench just like fucking jumping up and down like a little kid. Oh yeah.
I remember that. I remember watching with my brother in our den, and they were down by like what 12, 16 or
Yeah, it was
something,
something like that. Yeah.
and then they brought in Steve Kerr, and like I remember telling my brother, I think he's going to do something, and he went 4 for 4 from 3.
Yep.
And yeah, Steve Kerr is loved here in San Antonio. So
Also, as well, not to kind of going back to the NBA. We're talking about NBA right now, but their new schedule for the 25-26 season when they're going to, NBC, Amazon, and obviously stay on ESPN. After the NFL season concludes, they're gonna have national televised games 7 days a week. I'm gonna be in fucking heaven.
I saw that. Yeah, they're going to be on Peacock, I think once or twice a week, and then of course ESPN. So that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um,
It's gonna suck for now. They're gonna be Peacock on Mondays. So Raw. So you got Peacock and Raw. Peacock. I'm sorry, NBA and Raw on the same night. Two different platforms. Then Tuesdays is on NBC. So that may hurt SmackDown a little bit there. Then Wednesdays are on ESPN, which is kind of like what it is right now anyway. So Dynamite and maybe NXT. Maybe NXT is going to Wednesdays. They haven't figured that out yet either, right? NXT, as far as Wednesdays or Thursdays,
um,
they haven't
so it's gonna,
figured that out officially. I don't think.
so it's going to premiere on CW in, was it October the 1st? So that would be a Tuesday.
No, it'd still be Tuesday, but when SmackDown goes to USA, as of right now, from what I understand, that it's looking to go back to Tuesdays.
Oh, SmackDown. Okay.
You see, you get where I'm going?
I get you. I thought you said
Yeah.
NXT. Yeah.
Well, no,
Yeah, so
NXT
Raw.
will be on Tuesday temporarily on CW, but I'm thinking because you're not gonna have SmackDown and NXT on the same night. That's just dumb.
Oh yeah.
So I'm assuming that Raw Monday, SmackDown Tuesday, maybe NXT Wednesday, and maybe NXT versus AEW, possibly. That's what I'm thinking. What could happen? I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen, but that's a possibility. And we may have the Wednesday Night Wars all over again. But
That'd be
NXT will have a fucking huge advantage over AEW.
Oh yeah.
Because you're on
yeah.
CW, which is like anyone can get CW with a fucking antenna. Now everyone gets TBS and TNT. You actually need to have cable. So
Well, you can get TBS. Yeah, TBS is basic.
Well, what's in more homes? TBS? Oh, I'm sorry, not TBS. TNT or CW?
TNT.
No, it's CW.
If okay,
They're in more
TBS
homes.
No, TBS and CW are basic cable.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not. You can't.
No,
You cannot get TNT with the antenna.
No, I'm not talking about TNT. I'm talking about TBS.
Or TBS. You can't get both of those with the antenna. They're cable. They're cable channels.
Yes, you can, dude. I promise you. TBS is
No,
basic
you
cable.
can't. I promise you. I worked at Spectrum for 8 years. I know what's on the. I know what's on the like. Okay, so do me this favor. You know, because every TV has an antenna. Try to find TBS on your antenna. You'll get CBS, you'll get CBS, you'll get NBC, you'll get Fox, ABC, PBS. I think I mentioned that. You won't get TBS. TBS is Turner.
I mean, I guess not anymore. But like, when I had cable, back in the day, back in my day, it was like you said, NBC, CBS, ABC, Channel 12 was CBS. It was basic cable. I don't know if that's the case anymore, but it was.
Talking about CBS or TBS?
TBS, dude. TBS and CBS.
No.
I don't know. Anyways,
we can talk about that all night, but yeah.
But that'd be interesting if they decide to just put NXT on Wednesdays again, just to kind of fuck over AEW.
Yeah,
but last bit of NBA news: Harrison Barnes with the Spurs. After a 3-team trade, which I believe involved DeMar DeRozan going to the Kings, and now Harrison Barnes is on the Spurs. So another veteran pickup for the Spurs. They got Chris Paul. Now they got Barnes. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, you need to have veterans in the. You need to have veterans. He's gonna start most likely, so I don't expect him to have 15 a night. But he's a bucket though, so I can't complain.
He's got a ring too. So,
I had this guy that told me yesterday that came in that I spoke to. He was like, "Oh, Spurs will win the championship." Like,
no. At best, they'll be like maybe 43, 42 wins, and they could possibly go in the play-in tournament.
Like, possibly play-in tournament, but I think this is a perfect position because Spurs are going to play more meaningful games and probably still get a lottery pick. And if we get a lottery pick again and possibly get the number, if we get Cooper Flag by some miracle, now we're talking. Now we're starting to
that
take our
dude's
steps in the
good.
right place. Yeah,
I saw him. He's fucking 17 years old, and he's playing
17, bro.
he's playing scrimmage with fucking LeBron and Kevin Durant. It's like
Fucking good,
Jesus
man.
Christ.
He's so good at what he does.
Like the Spurs are playing the long game with all these draft picks they're getting. Like it's like
Yep.
next year, if Atlanta doesn't make the playoffs, Spurs get that top 5 pick.
Yep.
So it's just like the Spurs. This is like an embarrassment of riches for them. Shit. I don't know, but Cooper Flag, that's a hell of a player. He's only 17. He just signed with Duke, or not just signed with Duke, but he's gonna play for Duke. So pretty nuts. That's all the NBA talk. Do you have any other news?
That was it, I think. Yeah, that was the last thing. Yeah.
All right. How long have we been recording? An hour 40. We can make this quick. So there's a game I wanted to play with Justin. We used to do a game called Guess the Card, which, if you listen to Jim Cornette, Jim Cornette's show, The Experience of the Drive-Thru, basically, Brian Last would read a card from back in the day and just would read the wrestlers, and Jim Cornette would guess the card, the date, the venue, blah, 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 which is what I would do with Justin back in the day. Or, yeah, when we would play that game. I'm going to do something different. It's going to be a variation of that game. It's called Guess the Wrestler. So what I'm going to do is name off titles that a certain wrestler has won, and Justin has to guess who the wrestler is. Justin, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So the first wrestler I have. This wrestler won the European title twice, the Intercontinental title twice, the WWE Tag Team titles 3 times, I believe. No, wait, 4 times. The United States title and the WWE title. Who is this wrestler?
The United States title and the WWE title.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this: all these belts that they won, have they won more belts, or these are all the belts that they won?
These are literally all the belts they won in WWE.
Oh, okay.
Do you want a hint?
No. You know what? Sure. Just give me all the hints. Yeah, just tell me. Yeah, tell me.
They were in WCW.
I give up.
Okay. They were also in ECW.
I give up.
Eddie Guerrero.
Nice.
All right. Next one. This wrestler was only in WWE for their career. They won the Raw Tag Team titles twice, the World Heavyweight title 3 times, the SmackDown Tag Team title once, and was a 2-time WWE champion. Who is this wrestler?
I don't know. Sheamus.
One more hint.
I don't know.
They're an actor.
Miz.
Nope,
not
not Miz.
Yeah, I don't know. Give up.
Batista.
Nice.
All right. Next one. This is going to be a doozy. This wrestler won the European title, the Intercontinental title. He is a 4-time WWE champion, a 2-time World Heavyweight champion, a Hardcore champion, and a United States champion. Who is this wrestler?
I give up. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know these facts. So, yeah.
Kurt Angle.
Cool.
We'll do one more. I'll do one more. It's going to be easy. This wrestler won the $1 million title.
$1 million man, Virgil.
One more. Who else won the $1 million?
Cameron Grimes. LA Knight.
Oh hell yeah!
Well, Stone Cold.
There you go.
You only mentioned that, but he was more than that. But
He
okay.
was also a 4-time WWE Tag Team Champion, a 2-time Intercontinental Champion, and a 6-time WWE Champion. So there you go. That is Guess the Wrestler. All right, that was fun. All right, so we are done for the night, people. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to everyone who showed up in the chat. And if anyone is interested, you want to listen back to our review with Jeff Lippman talking about the weekend in wrestling with Money in the Bank and Heatwave. It's already up. And I also put up a short on the YouTube channel with a snippet from a topic that we had on Sunday, which was about who is the best 20-year-old in wrestling, or I guess of all time. So I'll start putting up more of those. And in the future, we might be doing more review shows for pay-per-views on the weekend. It actually happens. So, but that's our show, people. Shout out to everybody. Shout outs to everyone who are friends of ours and supports the show. Mish from Wrestling Soup, who gave us the platform to do these shows. Thank you, Mish. Thank you, Joe Numbers. Thank you to our friends over at Spitball Media with John Draper and Shaheen, who's done artwork for the show. So shout out to Shaheen, Bish O'Brien. If you're into movies, if you like horror movies, they record at 8 p.m. Central Time on YouTube. So they're going to be doing a show tomorrow, I believe. Kevin Castle, another friend of the show. Trez, another friend of the show. Jeff Lippman, of course, our residential, not a mad lawyer. He's not a mad lawyer. He's actually a very happy lawyer. I see him in the chat room. RJ, the Brooklyn Savage. I know him and Monty just did a show earlier for Brooklyn Power Trip, so listen to that.
Nice.
Me and RJ are actually doing a show tomorrow for Revenge of the Savage Nerds. It was a long time coming. Well, we got a lot of shit to cover, especially with Deadpool Wolverine coming out. So we're definitely gonna do
When
a
is
deep
that
dive
movie
on
coming
that.
out?
July the 26th.
Okay.
I already got my tickets. I'm going on Thursday, so I can't wait for that.
I'll probably be catching on Netflix, most likely. We'll see.
Well, it's more than likely to come on Disney Plus.
Oh, whatever the fuck it comes on.
Nice.
I don't keep up with that shit nowadays.
I know. But yeah, we're gonna be covering a lot of Marvel, DC news on the show tomorrow, so look for that. I've also been releasing a lot of retro episodes from our Patreon, so I'll need to put up some more. I also put up one with Jeff from our Patreon show, Garden of Droom.
Is that on Spreaker you put it on?
Yeah, I put the show with RJ and Jeff on Spreaker. So I just uploaded the Jeff one from a few days ago. I'm gonna put another one up pretty soon, as well as the RJ one. Let's see what else. Culture Attack with Ruben Prime, where we talk about all things culture. We attack the culture in more ways than one. So we should be doing another show pretty soon. What else? If I'm forgetting anyone, I apologize. But shout out to everybody who are friends of ours who loves us and supports the show. And next Wednesday is my birthday. I should be good to do a show on Wednesday. I usually kind of like we do.
It's your birthday, man. You should spend time with family, man. You only gotta be doing a podcast here.
I'll let you know after this. I mean, I say that because usually like we do a lot of the stuff during the day.
Yeah, okay.
And then by the time nighttime comes around, I'm already like kind of out of it. I'll let you know. I'll let you know what happens.
Okay.
But yeah, next Wednesday is my birthday. I'll be 35. So the big 35. So, but again, like I mentioned, I'll keep Justin posted. I'll keep you guys posted as to if we're doing a show next Wednesday. But Justin, tell them about Spinebuster Tees.
Yeah, you guys know about me, Spinebuster Tees, SpinebusterTees.com. Pick up all your t-shirts, like the Just Enjoy Wrestling t-shirt that I'm wearing right here. I got it in red. You get it in black and white. Also, as well, other array of t-shirts online you can get. Spinebuster Tees on Instagram. You can follow me on there, where you can see the stuff that I post from my shop, which is at Spinebuster Tees. If you're ever in the San Antonio area, visit Wonderland of the Americas. Come check it out. A lot of great stuff, including, of course, wrestling t-shirts, action figures, trading cards, autograph 8x10s, wrestling magazines. And come on down. Come on down. You never know who you'll see, who you'll meet. A lot of local wrestlers do stop by as well, so you may meet some local talent, or you never know. Thunder Rosa may stop by. She's stopped by a couple times in the shop already. So yeah, Spinebuster Tees and SpinebusterTees.com.
You know that streamer? It's a wrestling streamer. Name is Wheezy, blonde girl. Then the answer is no. Yeah, she's pretty cool. She's
from San Antonio.
No, she was actually in San Antonio not too long ago. So I just kind of like, I shout out your shop. I was like, hey, if you like wrestling and you're in town, go over to Spinebuster Tees. So I
appreciate it.
Yeah, I go out of my way. I do the best to kind of shout out your show. Like I remember Ethan Page. I know he's like a big wrestling like figure collector, and
he's actually not. He doesn't collect much wrestling. He collects a lot of Marvel. He collects like a lot of Power Rangers. He's not a really big wrestling collector.
Right.
The wrestling collectors is really like Matt Cardona and fucking Brian Myers, but the most stuff they have already, like the stuff I got, they have already. But they only collect certain guys. They don't collect today's people. They don't. They just collect like, guys of growing up, which I can respect for sure. So,
I get you. But yeah, Spinebuster Tees people. If you're not in town, there's a website, SpinebusterTees.com. Peeps.
Yeah, and maybe you can meet Wisey. What's her name? Her name is a girl, right?
Who? Oh,
Wisey. I don't fucking know. I don't. I stay away from. Is she a reactor?
She's a reactor, but she's also done.
I think she's those fucking people.
I think she's like. I think she's tight with like Sean Ross Sapp.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, no, I don't know. I use SRS for news, but for streaming purposes, fuck her, him, Denise Salcedo, fuck off.
I like Denise Salcedo. She's okay. Sean Ross Sapp, I don't care for. I think he's like
Denise is fucking. I rather get Emina. How you say Emina? Emina. You know what I'm talking about. I rather get one of those than listen to her fucking talk wrestling. Like,
I don't know. RJ says Wheezy's kind of cool. Yeah, she's cool. I'm not trying to like, sell you on this. I mean, I kind of am, but yeah, she's pretty cool. But yeah, Sean Ross Sapp is a cunt. Like him doing the whole, I challenge people to fights and blah, blah, blah. Like, dude, you'll never fucking win a fight. Shut up.
Well, I mean, I don't like the guy either, but I mean, I've seen him fight before. So, I don't know. Like,
I don't know. He has me on that one. He has me blocked because he was like talking shit to Kevin Castle and told him "fuck you," and I just, said "fuck you" back, and then he blocked me. So fuck that dude. Fuck him and Ryan Set. Anywho, but that's neither here nor there. We're done for the night, people. We will see you next week, whenever that is, but we will let you know ASAP. Yeah, we're done for the night, peeps. Laters. Have a good night and be safe.
Peace.
Peace.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari. It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari. It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari.